Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a long-term market analysis update for PYR. We'll cover some very key levels of support that are being retested, some levels of resistance, some moving averages, as well as the PYR Bitcoin ratio, and my general outlook with PYR. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, I will leave a link to my Twitter page in the description below. I'm fairly active over there if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. So first, I do want to talk about this very key level of support that I have marked out in green on the chart, ranging from $2.70 all the way up to $3. Now, it's a pretty big range, but do consider that all of this is support. All of this is an area where PYR has bounced off of in the past. On this first capitulation right here that we had in May, coming back down to this level, we bounced off of it, and then we came back down to retest it later on in July. So we continue to hold this region, another bounce right here in September, and then we're back at it retesting the zone once again for the fourth time. So it's going to be really key to watch out for PYR. If it continues to hold this and we do start to make a move back up, that would be perfectly logical as we have been in this longer term range. Basically, we've just gone from the highs back down to the lows, back down to the highs, and continued that pattern. So it really wouldn't be out of the ordinary for PYR to have a move back up. Now, if PYR starts to break down and it's unable to hold this level of support, and as an illustration, that would look something like this, where we start to close the daily under this and then flip it right into resistance. If we do get this move, then if I zoom out here, the next longer term region of support I'll be watching out for is this level ranging from $1.20 to $1.30. Now, this is the key level that was the all-time low back here in 2021. This is the pivot point where PYR started to reverse this big correction that it had from its launch. And then from that point, PYR was able to make some higher highs and go into this new uptrend. So again, if we do start to break down below this range, we're unable to hold the support at $2.70 to $3, then I will be watching out for this next level all the way down in that zone. And I would say that if PYR does have a convincing and a sustainable break below this support, then it is very likely we will get a move back down to that zone because there's very little support in between these two regions. You can see back here in 2021, when PYR broke this first level, it was very quick to visit the next level, declining about 56% in just the following 3 weeks. And then on the reverse, again, there wasn't much resistance ahead of it. It had this move off the lows up to those highs in about 31 days. So it was a very quick move from both to the range high back down to the range low, and from the range low back to the range high. So that's why there's not much support here. This is a pretty inefficient zone. So if we do get that breakdown again, I will expect this next level of support at around $1.20 to $1.30. So I also do want to talk about the PYR Bitcoin ratio. This has been in a mini uptrend. We've got some higher highs and higher lows forming. So that is a pretty positive sign. You can see that structure playing out pretty well here. Again, those moves where we do come back down to form support at regions that were higher than the previous zone, and the highs do keep getting higher. So I ultimately just want to see this trend continue, and PYR is coming back down to the channel again. So this is a logical area where it could start to reverse and make a higher low. So if we do come back up and we do start to have a move off of the zone right around 17,000 Satoshis, look to see if PYR on the Bitcoin ratio can come back up to the high of the channel and make a higher high above this October high, which was around 25,000 Satoshis. So lastly, I do want to talk about some moving averages. And specifically, I do want to focus on the 50-week simple moving average. So I'm going to switch the time frame over to a weekly chart and then toggle on the moving average and then just remove the drawing so that we can get a pretty clear look at this. And what you can see with the 50-week moving average is that we've actually only had one retest in its entire history, and that has been a rejection over the last few weeks. So currently the 50-week moving average is at around 23,000 Satoshis, and it just formed back here in May after we got the first initial 50 weeks of price action. And I want to focus on this because it is going to be downward sloping. It has been a point of resistance over the last few weeks, and it will be actually meeting us in the future at some lower valuations, considering that it is downward sloping. So if I were to just extend out this moving average here, you can see that, we could obviously retest it at some lower valuations into the next few months, because if we go back here 50 weeks ago, the closing price on PYR on the Bitcoin ratio was all the way up at these highs around 60,000 Satoshis. So it's averaging down lower, so it's going to continue to move down. And because we had that rejection, it's going to continue averaging down as resistance. So that's going to be a problem for PYR if we continue to have more and more retests and they continue to reject. And that's going to be a level that I really do want to see PYR start to reclaim, where if it does reclaim this level, that would be a bullish sign, as I would expect PYR to outperform Bitcoin and have a lot of relative strength. And that could be very helpful for this USD pair and might start to give PYR that relative strength it needs to hold some of these support levels and continue back up to some of these range highs. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out my Twitter page. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.